Take a look at this number, 79%. It's a pretty stark figure, right? And if you're a sales leader, it should probably make you a little uncomfortable. Any guesses what it represents? Well, that number, that's the percentage of marketing leads that never convert into sales. Just gone. And look, the knee-jerk reaction is to blame the sales reps or the marketing team, right? But the truth is, this isn't really a people problem. It's a systemic problem. And in this explainer, we're going to dig into the business case for a platform that's built from the ground up to solve it. I'm talking about the MerakiPeople platform. It's an AI-powered system, and its whole purpose is to plug those leaks that are draining your sales funnel. So let's get to the heart of it. The problem isn't that your people aren't skilled enough or aren't working hard enough. The real issue is the process, the infrastructure. You know, the tools and the workflows most teams are stuck with, they just weren't designed for the kind of scale and deep personalization that today's customers demand. And when you look at the data, it's pretty eye-opening. You've got that 79% of leads lost, according to Marketing Sherpa. Then Harvard Business Review tells us that a whopping 84% of sales training is forgotten in just 3 months. And on top of all that, another 70% of prospects are lost just because of bad follow-up. It's like a leaky bucket that's just constantly spilling potential revenue. So all of this really hammers home one point. You can't just train your way out of this. It's not a training problem. It's an infrastructure gap. Most teams are flying blind without a real system to personalize their outreach, to properly prepare for calls, and, this is the big one, to learn from what's actually working, and do it all at scale. Okay, so that's where MerakiPeople steps in. It's literally designed to be that missing piece of infrastructure. So let's take a look at how it actually works. And we'll start right at the top of the funnel with lead nurturing. You know the old way, right? Those generic one-size-fits-all drip emails that everyone just ignores? Yeah, MerakiPeople does the opposite. The whole idea is to kick off hyper-personalized conversations that feel like they're coming from a real person, right from that very first touch point. And look, this isn't just some vague marketing promise. Check this out. This is a real AI-generated message for lead named Tanvi. Notice it has the Bengali phrase, Kotai Takbo, which means, where will I stay? This isn't some fill-in-the-blank template. It's a deeply human and really thoughtful message. So what's going on here? This is where you see the intelligence of the MerakiPeople platform. The AI picked up on her language preference, it proactively brought up a common concern, accommodation, and it even offered social proof by mentioning other students from her hometown. That is how you build real trust, right from the get-go. All right, so the lead is warmed up, they're engaged. What happens next? This is where MerakiPeople helps the sales counselors get ready for the actual call, using a tool they call the Call Compass. And this is a big deal, because it totally changes the dynamic of the call. Your counselors go from making what are essentially cold, unprepared calls to leading really informed, strategic conversations. Why? Because they've got all the context they need, right there. So before the call even starts, they get a full intelligence brief on that specific lead. Then, as soon as the call is over, MerakiPeople jumps in, automatically creating a summary, scoring the performance based on your key metrics, and it even drafts a personalized follow-up. It's all about closing the loop on every single interaction, every time. Now, this next part is absolutely crucial. The MerakiPeople system isn't running on some generic off-the-shelf AI. No way. It actually ingests and learns from your company's specific playbooks, your product details, and the success patterns of your top performers. It's designed to find out what already works for you and then amplify it. Okay, I know what you might be thinking, especially if you're in an enterprise environment. Control, safety, right? How can you actually trust an AI to talk to your prospects? Well, it's a fair question, and the MerakiPeople platform was built from day one to answer it. Here's how it works. Every single piece of content the AI creates has to pass through this really robust 3-pillar validation system. First, it validates the input to make sure it's safe. Then, it checks the output to make sure it's on brand and accurate. And finally, it even shows you the reasoning behind its choices. It's all about total transparency. What this means for you is that every message, every single suggestion is 100% auditable. This gives your product teams, your compliance teams, the complete transparency and control they need. You can be sure every communication is not just effective, but also totally brand safe. So we've covered how the MerakiPeople system works, the what and the how. But now let's get to the so what, the business case. Let's talk numbers, the investment, and more importantly, the return. First things first, this isn't some year-long project. The path to getting value is incredibly fast. We're talking a structured 4-week implementation plan. You go from the foundational setup and playbook ingestion straight through to training and go live. 4 weeks. Okay, so what about the results? Let's start here. Companies that get really good at lead nurturing, which is exactly what MerakiPeople automates, well, they generate 50% more sales-ready leads. 50%. And it gets better. According to research from Forrester, they do it at a 33% lower cost. So you're getting more volume and better efficiency at the same time. That's a pretty powerful combo. But wait, there's more. It's not just about converting more leads. Those nurtured leads, they end up making 47% larger purchases. So your team isn't just closing more deals, they're closing much bigger deals. So when you stack up that kind of ROI against the actual investment, the business case really clicks into place. For a typical 25-person team, the entire MerakiPeople platform, including all the AI usage, comes out to around 2,350 rupees per counselor per month. Look, at the end of the day, the question really isn't if this kind of AI-powered sales enablement becomes standard. It's going to. The only real question is, will your organization be a leader that gets ahead and grabs market share, or a follower left playing catch-up? The logical next step is to see how the MerakiPeople platform can be tailored to your exact sales process. I'd encourage you to schedule a technical deep dive with the team to really see the architecture and the AI in action.